My name is Lieutenant Colonel Bryan Miller. I have the pleasure of serving in the Air Force and Air National Guard's band program, where we facilitate the new music session for concert band every year. And I also have the pleasure of leading the Chicagoland Educators Orchestra, where we present the new music for orchestra session each year.
Hi there, I'm Dick Dunscomb, and I'm in charge of the jazz reading session.
Hi, my name is Frank Lestina, and I'm on the advisory board for the Midwest Clinic. And I, about 8 years ago, started helping with the moderating that session and selecting the music for the orchestra reading session.
It's a real honor to get to be associated with the reading session because, as we know, the entire Midwest Clinic grew out of the reading session. So it's a wonderful legacy to be connected to. And serving with the Air National Guard bands, we are able to have this be part of our community relations, part of our music education outreach. And it makes great sense because so many of our members are practicing educators.
The jazz reading session began shortly after I came on the board in 1982. And we've been doing it regularly Friday morning at 10:15. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Well, my involvement with the orchestra portion wasn't the beginning for orchestra. Bryan deserves a lot of credit after doing the reading session for band for many years, and just asked the question, well, why doesn't the orchestra have this opportunity?
We initiated the session in 2012. That's when I approached the Midwest Clinic, as you so eloquently said, and thank you. And it was the idea being because the clinic has a non-traveling home in Chicago, that ensemble should be Chicagoland music educators, because there's such a rich landscape here in both music education. And there's so many fantastic educators that are doubly committed to continuing to be artistic level players because of all the wonderful musical opportunities in Chicago.
We're really blessed in the jazz area for the service bands from DC every year. They present a concert Thursday evening, and then Friday morning, they are the reading session band. And boy, what a group to perform new music. The educators absolutely love it. We do have a process that we use every year. First of all, we try to focus on grade 2, 3, and 4 music, because that's where most of the educators at Midwest are. They've told us that over the years. And so, you know, we go to the publishers and we ask them, at this point, we have so many that we ask them to provide 2 music selections for the reading session, which gives us an average of between 25 and 30 charts to read.
The orchestra and band, I think, are similar in that there are many tunes. And when I first came on board about 2013, the publishers were just asked to submit all their new titles. And it was overwhelming to go through all of the titles and try and come up with a program of 20 to 25 tunes. So it's kind of morphed, and where it's been the last 5 years at least, is we ask publishers for band and orchestras to submit up to 5 new works, titles and composers, new works. And then we work, Bryan has been working with the band and me with the orchestra in trying to narrow that down. I reach out to some of my colleagues and listen to all of the tunes that are submitted and come up with a program.
Yes, I would echo the sentiments of both Dick and Frank regarding the literature, and that there's so much fantastic literature out there. We can really only present some of that, but it is so important to present it in that live, exciting environment. And what we try to do is emphasize that middle of the curve, as Dick had said, because then the most literature is accessible to the most attendees and ultimately benefiting the most kids, which is really what this is all about. But the other really neat human factor about this is there's an opportunity for perhaps practicing educators to meet the composers at this event, to share with them some of the successes they've had playing some of their other pieces, or maybe that relationship ultimately culminates in a special piece being written for that program or that community, which is just fantastic to continue the art.
It's a great partnership. And I think that that's one of the reasons that the clinic has been so fantastically received throughout the years, is that they have hands-on. I mean, if we print for our session, we print the program from the book, and so they can make notes and write through there and all of that while they're working. And then if they see something they like, to walk downstairs and take a further look at it. I'll also say that although we perform just a couple of minutes of each piece, and generally speaking, we begin at the beginning and play up to the solo section. So my role as moderator is to try to give the attendees information that they're not hearing, which is the range of the lead trumpet, the kind of form the solo is taking. And so they get a pretty good idea about what's going on.